Blakeley. I blog at thisblondelife.com, and I am going to share my birth story with you. This is Daisy. She is 5 months old, and she is our absolute perfect miracle baby. This was mine and my husband's first pregnancy. To the point in my pregnancy where I was going to see my doctor every week for checkups. At 35 weeks, it was on a Tuesday, I went to see him, and he checked me out and everything looked good, and he said, now you're 35 weeks, so if you were to go into labor at this point, we're not going to stop it. You know, before this we would stop your labor and try to slow it down, but now we'll just let it happen and you'll be fine. Baby should be developed enough that if it were to happen, you'd be fine. But we're not going to worry about that. I'll see you back here next week. And I think at this point I was measuring maybe a week and a half ahead, maybe 2 weeks early, but nothing crazy. Wednesday, normal day. Thursday, went to work. Came home. I got home around 5:15, and I went to the bathroom, and I called my friend Whitney. We talked to each other every day on the way home from work. So I was talking to her, and I was like, God, I can't stop peeing. I think I just peed my pants. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember toward the end, my bladder just like decided I didn't want to work anymore. Ha ha ha, funny, funny. Jimmy, my husband, got home about 30 minutes later. We hopped in the car and we went to go get Little Caesars pizza for dinner. And on the way back from dinner, I did it again. Like, it felt like I legit peed my pants. And I said, God, I need to call my mom. He was laughing at me. He was like, this is going to be great the next 5 weeks. You're going to be peeing yourself. Called my mom. I was laughing, and she laughs. She's my best friend. We laugh about everything. Told her, I said, Mom, I keep peeing my pants. And she goes, I think you need to call the doctor. Like, dead serious. And I just thought she was going to laugh. I said, what? She said, I don't think you peed your pants. I think your water broke. So we thought about it and decided, whatever, I'm not ready for this baby. There's nothing done. It's not coming. I still have 5 weeks, but let's just pack hospital bags just in case. And then at like 9 o'clock, I think we decided to head to the hospital just to go get me checked, because I was still leaking a little bit. And we get there, and they were expecting me. We walk in the door, and they put me in a bed. Like, I wasn't expecting to get in a hospital bed, and I did. And they hooked me up, like, the heart rate monitor and all that stuff. Monitor the baby. And I was like, I can't, this is a lot. I'm just getting my fluids checked. What's happening? And like about 30 minutes later, she comes back, and she goes, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and admit you. And I said, what does that mean? She said, it means that you're not leaving here without a baby. Your water broke. What? You've got to be kidding me. There's no way my water broke. I'm 35 weeks pregnant. How does that even happen? So we're freaking out. Our house is a wreck. There's no way we could bring a baby home. I'm starting to have contractions. It was painful. And they kept checking me to see how far I was dilated, and it wasn't very far. It was 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 5. It was a very slow process. Finally, I mean, it had been like 12 hours. The next morning, they come in, they check me. I'm getting closer, so they give me Pitocin to speed up my contractions, and give me the epidural. That wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Next thing you know, I can't feel my legs, and I'm happy, and I can't feel my contractions, which is fabulous. And a couple hours go by, my contractions were getting too close together, and I wasn't dilated enough, so they had to slow down my contractions. Once your water breaks, you got like about a 24-hour window before you risk infection, so they want you to have that baby in that 24-hour window, or it's going to turn into a C-section, which I didn't want, if I could avoid it, obviously. So we're getting to that 24-hour mark, and so she wanted to check me one more time. She did. I said, oh, okay, you're dilated. Let's do this. And it was literally like the last straw. It was then or C-section. And thank God I was dilated enough that it was time to have this baby. Okay, so I was in labor up until this point, 25 hours, I believe. From starting to push to the end, it was almost 28 hours of labor. 28 hours. It was an hour and 45 minutes of pushing. Whew, I don't know if that was a lot or not. It sounded like a lot. It was painful. It was intense. Exhausting. So exhausting. So exhausting. So finally he goes, okay, here she is. She's coming. I need another push. And so I pushed. And they said, okay, stop pushing, stop pushing, stop pushing. And the cord was wrapped around her neck, which freaked me out. Saw her, she was blue. My mom was down there watching the whole thing, and her face just dropped, and she turned pale white, and her mouth was open, and I was freaking out, trying not to, seeing that. And the doctor, and I know that's a normal thing, but seeing it on your own baby is terrifying. And so they clipped it, and I had to do one more push, and I heard the cry, and it was the most beautiful sound I've ever heard in my life. And I saw her, and it was perfect, and I was so exhausted, I was so excited, so happy. And they wrapped her up and they handed her to me, and she was this teeny tiny, beautiful, perfect little baby girl. And I was so in love from that moment on, and it didn't matter. The pain didn't matter. Nothing mattered. She was perfect. She's all that mattered. And so then they took her from me, and I had to deliver the placenta, and it wouldn't come out on its own, so the doctor had to push it out, which was really painful. That was more painful than the actual delivery part. And finally got it out, and you see this look on his face, and he says, wow, come here. And he called the nurses over, and he was like looking at it, and come to find out the umbilical cord was not fully attached to the placenta like it's supposed to, and it was like hanging on by a couple threads, and it wasn't centered like it's supposed to do. And he said that it's a miracle she came when she did, because in those last 5 weeks of pregnancy, the baby's putting on more weight and causing more, less space in there, and it pulls at things. And so had she continued to grow and put on that weight and pulled, it could have risked the umbilical cord separating from the placenta, which commonly leads to stillbirth. And a lot of times the moms can hemorrhage and bleed out. So after hearing that, I mean, there were no signs of this at all or anything throughout my entire pregnancy, but then hearing that was just absolutely terrifying, and a complete miracle that she came when she did, because, I mean, who knows what could have happened had I gone the additional 5 weeks. And he said there was no reason that my water broke. It was just chance. It was a miracle. And so she's my miracle baby. She was 5 pounds, 14.4 ounces, I believe, when she was born. Friday the 13th, January 13th. She has brought so much joy to our life, I can't even begin to tell you. She's just the most perfect thing in the whole wide world, and we're so, so, so blessed to be her parents. And I just love being her mom, and I never knew I could love motherhood as much as I do. I can't explain it. It's just one of those things, like, you don't know what you're missing until it's time to experience it for yourself. And she's truly the light of my life and the best thing that's ever happened. So that's it. So that's the story of how Daisy came into this world and how I became a mom. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye.